Good morning, afternoon, or evening, my dear language learning master. Well, welcome to episode number 9 of the Language Input podcast, in which I address the most common questions and misconceptions when it comes to the language learning process. And as usual, I'm gonna share. I appreciate honesty, so I'm gonna share my honest, realistic, and fact-based opinion on today's topic, as usual. All right. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and let's get into it. And in today's topic, I'm going to talk about an interesting idea, I think. And you've probably heard many people talk about the fact that kids seem to learn languages faster than we do, adults. Okay. People are always talking about, kids are like a sponge, they learn so much faster. But today's topic is it true? Is it actually true? Do they actually learn faster than we do? Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. All right. And as usual, I'm gonna talk about different things, but first of all, let me be clear on this. This is my opinion, okay? Like I'm always saying, I want to make sure that that I tell you that this is just my opinion, okay? I haven't read any research studies or something similar, all right? This is just my opinion on my experience with different students and my own experience and, looking at the world and so on, okay? So I wanted to be clear on that. And with that being said, in my opinion, we adults actually learn languages. I don't know, and probably other things too, but let's focus on languages. We actually learn languages faster than kids do. And before you think I'm just crazy or what happened with me, let me explain what I mean. Actually, the thing for me, one of the main differences between kids with their native language and us adults with our second, third, fourth language is simply the amount of time that kids are exposed to the language. All right, they're listening to the language pretty much 24/7, while we adults usually settle for 1-2 hours of classes per week. And there's a huge difference in the amount of time that we're exposed to the language. All right, so it may actually look like kids learn faster than we do, but like I said, they get a lot of input, but the reason why I'm saying that I think we adults learn languages faster than kids is, one, because of what I just said, right? Because they get so many more hours of input. Of course, not all input they get is comprehensible. That's the thing as well, right? Because of course we adults also need input to be comprehensible in order to learn the language, right? But I think it's a little bit deceiving because kids when they're 10, 11, 1 month old, 1 year old, sorry, they don't speak the language yet, but they seem to understand a lot, right? Which is true, yeah. But I'm totally sure, I'm positive that if we were to listen to a specific language for an entire year, pretty much 24/7, except when we're sleeping, I'm pretty sure we would be able to communicate in the language. Of course, if input is comprehensible, that's key as usual, right? But the second reason I think that we adults learn faster than kids do is because my students are adults. I teach adults because I teach adults mainly, but I've had a couple of kids in the past, and I'm gonna stick to adults because I think the amount of different stories, the amount of different resources that we can use is much wider. Okay. And connected to that is the second reason why I think we learn languages faster, which is the fact that we adults, our knowledge of the world is way wider than that of kids, right? There's so many topics we can talk about. There's so many things we can use to create stories. There's so many things we can create. There's so many real life examples we can use in order for the message to be comprehensible for students. Yeah, and again and again and again. And I've seen it myself, right, in my classes. Like I said, my students are adults. Yeah, and I'm gonna stick to adults. And yeah, there's so many things we can talk about within the context of a story. There's so many different plots, so many different problems the main characters have, so many different solutions to those problems. Like I said, so many real life examples, real life people that we can use to sort of insert into a story to help the student understand the message. Whereas with kids, I've experienced it in the past, and I have a lot of friends who teach languages to kids, that it's way more limited. I mean, the amount of topics they can talk about is way more limited, and that makes it harder, for them to teach them, actually. And in addition to that, obviously it's also much harder for kids to focus, for an entire hour of, as long as the class lasts. All right. Because they're kids, they want to play, they want to move around and so on. I mean, I'm talking about online classes, which is what I do, but of course, you can use some movement and stuff within the context of a real class, right? So that's gonna help things with them, right? But I don't know, it's just, I see with my adult students that they can perfectly focus for an hour and pay attention to what I'm saying and understand everything I'm saying. And on the other side, kids, even if they're moving around, even if they're enjoying the class, when I talk to my friends who teach kids, every 10-15 minutes they need to make a break, they call them brain breaks, all right? Because they just can't take it as we adults can, all right? So yeah, those are the two main reasons why I think we adults learn faster than kids, all right? And as usual, let me know what you think of this, of my opinion on this topic, whether you agree with me, whether you disagree, okay? Because I think this is an interesting topic, excuse me. And now you might be wondering, so if you're saying that we adults learn languages faster than kids do, how come that the process always works with them and the native language, and so many adults end up frustrated when it comes to the language learning process, and they can't really learn a second or a third language, So why is that? Well, I still believe we do learn languages faster than them, okay? But what makes the process work every single time with them is the fact that they don't have any prejudices or beliefs when it comes to language learning. They don't think they need to learn grammar rules in order to learn a language. They don't need to start speaking before they're ready to do so, right? Which is what we adults, for whatever reason, always do, yeah? And so on, right? They just, obviously, because they're not conscious about it, right? But they just listen to the language, and they don't get frustrated if they don't understand. They don't try to consciously memorize words. They don't try to learn the grammar rules. Like I said before, they don't try to speak before they're ready to. They just start speaking whenever they feel ready to. Whenever they feel ready for it, right? And because of that natural process in which they don't force the issue, they just, I was gonna say they trust the process. They don't really trust it because they're not aware of it, right? But in a way, they trust the process, okay? the natural process of acquiring a language that we all have in our brains, right? And that to me is the difference. It's not that they learn languages faster or they there's a specific, I don't know, a specific organ or something in their brain that helps them learn the native language. No, uh, again, we kids are just, we adults are kids who've grown up, right? What I mean with that is we're all humans. We're all of the same species, right? It's not like kids are different from us, And actually, their brains are not still fully developed when they're learning the native language, and ours are, right? So again, that should be an advantage for us to learn a foreign language faster than they do, all right? So yeah, once again, like I said at the beginning, this is just my opinion. I know, in like based on my experience and what I've seen in my students, what I've seen in the few kids I've taught in the past, and yeah, and in what I observe in everyday life, in people, in relatives or friends who are having children, I try to pay attention or how they behave and so on. When it comes to the language learning process, And so once again, let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with me, if you don't, feel free to share your opinion on the topic. Like I always say, as long as we're respectful, I'm more than open to different ideas, to different opinions, to disagreements and so on, because, debating about it is actually the way to get better, to keep improving, or to better understanding how the process actually works, and so on and so on. All right, and so we can all learn our dream languages, while enjoying the process, which is my main goal here with my project. All right. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, like I said, and I'll see you in the next video, in the next episode, number 10. And yeah, finally, as I'm saying in every single episode, don't be afraid to comment down below. Not only about this topic, like I said, but also about any question, any doubt, any idea you may have when it comes to the language learning process. Because I'll be more than happy to answer you, to help you out with your struggle, with your doubt, with your question, and you'll be giving me ideas for future episodes as well. So thanks in advance for that, and I wish you a good day, whatever you might be, my dear language learning master. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, my friend.